driving traffic to your website with Pinterest is essential. I want to take a second today to give you 7 super actionable Pinterest growth hacks to boost your Pinterest strategy and get more traffic and leads, which will ultimately make more sales. So for those of you who don't know who I am Laura Rike. I am a Pinterest powerhouse, and I help high-performing business owners, content creators, and influencers like you grow profitably the right way with sustainable systems so that you can be found first without the tantrums over tech and trading sleep for success. I do this using my signature Pintastic Growth to Greatness framework. So let's make Pinterest profitable for you. Diving right into those 7 actionable tips. The first hack is create viral boards. And this may sound easy to some and may sound hard to others, but you want to work towards having your boards show up when people search for their keywords. Rather than having one pin show up for that particular keyword or phrase, you would love for that whole board to come up. So ranking your boards is absolutely vital to drive people to them specifically. However, you need to have the engagement with them as well. So the Pinterest hack is to make your board a hotspot for that topic. By more people engaging with the content that's on your boards, Pinterest will rank that higher and show it to more people. It is vital to create content that is valuable and helpful to the user. So creating pins that get repins is essential, and it will help to create that infinite loop that you're looking for to drive traffic to your links. And all essential information in regards to the topic of interest should be put on that board. You can equally pin other people's content if you want. It used to be suggested you do that. I don't suggest it anymore. I personally pin just my content based on the new changes with Pinterest, but you want to make sure that that board is super, super valuable and full of tons of great information that's going to help your end user. So boards linking to tons of different topics and content that help them in that area that they're looking for is going to perform better, as opposed to boards that have pins only leading to one article or landing page or whatever. So you want to make sure you keep that well-rounded. Tip number 2 is optimize your boards for those topics. So the primary Pinterest strategy is optimizing for SEO by using keywords that people are searching for. You want to enable rich pins and validate those blog posts and those rich pins. Pinterest will then be able to scan, just like Google crawls your websites, they'll be able to scan your post for keywords and collect the metadata automatically. You can also add a pin button to your website to be able to make it easier for the users that come to your website from other sources, share your work online. Pinterest allows you to follow topics as well, and people and board users. Use this to your advantage, right? By following topics people are actively searching for and engaging with, you're going to be able to know what is attracting those users and attract more traffic to your own content. So your boards will be able to show up, or your pins rather, will be able to show up in topic feeds if you've done your homework and your research. The third tip is use analytics to create those viral pins, right? Don't forget about you going through the steps and creating all this amazing content and sharing it out on Pinterest, but you're not looking at what actually is working for the end user. You may think that something is going to completely take off and go viral, but they may have a different idea. And it really depends on what is trending right now. So it depends on what's going on in the world. It depends on what people are struggling with or looking for, or what they need help with, or what they're cooking even. Like, it doesn't matter. But you want to look at the analytics of what you've shared and compare that to what is trending. What colors are they attracted to? What is getting the most clicks? What was the style of headline that you used? Make sure you look at all of that data so that you can recreate it without having to reinvent the wheel every time you want something to pick up traffic. Which brings us into use a popping, catchy headline. Your headline on that graphic is going to determine whether people click on your link or keep scrolling. And it's essential to create captivating headlines. There's a couple different platforms that you can use to do this, where you can go to their site and type in what you think would be awesome to use, and they will give you a score or give you some other ideas that might work better for your headlines. So I would check some of those out, because if you have headlines containing negative words or things like that, they might not perform as well, but they might perform better. It depends on the topic. So again, you're going to have to do that research, A/B test. The use of number brackets and colons can help increase the clicks depending on what you're sharing on a particular topic. The way that you lay out the headline and the title, so if you're using different font sizes or different fonts, things like that, make sure to keep that in the back of your mind as well. Another thing that you want to do is you want to hide pins in your posts. So a lot of people have them right in the post, and I want you to still do that as well. But why don't you give other options for when people are sharing that article or that recipe or whatever, and hide other relevant pins with other keywords and alternate descriptions that will only help increase traffic to your posts. You can hide them in the code. You can use plugins for WordPress like Tasty Pins. There's a number of different ways to do this, but when you hide pins in your posts, there's going to be additional keywords and descriptions that can be used and added to your strategy as well. So I personally use Tasty Pins. A lot of people think that it's just for food bloggers with recipes, but trust me when I say that it is a blessing in disguise for those people who use WordPress. Another tip for you, tip number 6, is listen to Pinterest, right? It is absolutely essential that you listen to the platform. You want to keep yourself up to date, following Pinterest, following the trends. They provide you a newsroom. They provide you a trends tool. You want to understand the objectives and priorities of your business so that you can align it with what Pinterest is helping you do. Everything that Pinterest does is to better the platform for content creators. They're trying to make it more of a platform for you to be able to get the goal or reach the goals that you're trying to get to. And so they are doing everything in your favor. And this is amazing as long as you listen to them and work with them. Which brings me to my last tip, tip number 7, the 7th hack for you to act on right away to get amazing growth on your Pinterest account and within your strategy is don't fight the algorithm. Fighting the algorithm is going to be fighting a losing battle. And when I say algorithm, I'm not talking about it in the way of Facebook or other social platforms that you may understand, because Pinterest isn't a social platform. I want you to understand what they use for an algorithm, understand why the algorithm works the way it does, and how it benefits your business. Identify those areas where there's not a lot of traffic that's coming from it, and then adjust your strategy from there. So an example could be the use of group boards. When your entire Pinterest strategy was based on group boards, then you're likely to see that drop in traffic because that's no longer the best practice or best strategy for Pinterest specifically. You can still use them, but it shouldn't be your main point in that strategy. Group boards aren't performing as well as they used to in driving traffic, and it's not what the way they were being used is not what Pinterest had in mind or intended for that specific item or specific tool that they were giving you access to. So if you're someone who's starting a new profile and starting from scratch in terms of Pinterest for business, it would definitely be beneficial for you to do some research on the differences between group boards and tribes. Do some research in the algorithm itself and how you can gain a little bit of traffic by using those analytics to filter what is going to be beneficial for your specific topic and niche. And once you become more established, then you can be a little bit more selective on what you choose to implement in terms of your strategies based on what is happening within the Pinterest algorithm. Make sure that you totally dive into all the analytics, the keywords. I mean, we talked about basically everything that you need to create that big full force strategy to make Pinterest work for you. If you're someone who is maybe a beginner or someone who's advanced that's seeing a drop in their traffic, I'd love for you to join me on my upcoming masterclass. We go over a ton of different things in terms of helping you create that well-rounded strategy to either increase the traffic that you're seeing a decrease in, or to start off your profile on the right foot and really make the most of Pinterest for your business. So if you are someone who would love to get access into that free masterclass, go ahead and shout out masterclass below and I will send you a message with more information. Thanks, guys.